So good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the Aviation Hunters Bristol live stream today. A very nice and chilly Saturday afternoon. So you can see there the Jet 2 737-800 on arrival at runway 09. I'd just like to welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us, of course. Albert Silver, good afternoon to you. And so you can see there, it's a bit different today at Bristol Airport. Today the aircraft's using runway 09, and that is due to the winds blowing in the western direction. So obviously when landing or departing, the planes want to land against the wind direction, of course. And so 09 is being used today for the actions at Bristol. And so a bit of a different time than usual. Usually we're here at Bristol at about 3 o'clock, but today we've chosen 12 o'clock as it seems to be a bit more busier. Of course, we've got rush hour departures and arrivals, so we should get a wave of arrivals first, I believe, and then it should move on to departures. But yeah, I'll give you some info on that aircraft that we're focusing on now. So it's the Jet 2 737-800, just loading up flight radar to see the routes, of course, the reg numbers. And so the Jet 2 737-800 registered GJZBK, that is Golf Juliet Zulu Bravo Kilo, sorry. And it was arriving from Heathrow. And so you can see there are lots of parked planes at Bristol this afternoon, all ready for the wave of aircraft. Sounding. Obviously we're testing a bit of a different audio setup, and yeah, so we hope that improves, of course, the audio that we're getting. But yeah, good afternoon aviation fan, hope you're doing very well, thanks for joining. The ground crew marshalling the jet into the gate area. And so I'll give you a little preview of the aircraft that we're getting at Bristol Airport. So you've got the Jet 2 737-800, which will depart very soon. Obviously it's got to deboard and do all of that stuff, and then we've got the EasyJet. I believe that's the A320 there. Got the TUI Max 8, got another TUI Max 8 there, just parked on the stand, and then we've got the TUI Fly 737-800 with the split scimitar winglets, obviously featuring a bit of a different livery there compared to the others. A320 there, the Jet 2 737-800, then a couple of EasyJets in the background. You can see the tails of them, of course. But so you can see the fuel truck making its way over to, I believe that's the Jet 2 737-800 that's just arrived. could be going somewhere else. Doesn't seem to be going to the 737-800. But you can see the catering trucks on board the EasyJet A320 there, so that should be heading out in a bit. But yeah, just looking into the clouds to see if there is perhaps any arriving aircraft. Doesn't seem that there will be a departure anytime soon, of course. So yeah, just looking at the map now. So we have, let's see, a couple of unregistered planes, of course. We've got an EasyJet A320-200, which is actually currently at 8,000 feet. And so that will be arriving from Venice. So we should be seeing that in about 6 minutes' time. So obviously it's aligned currently on the runway 27 side, so it's going to make a sort of a loop around Bristol Airport to get to runway 09. But you can see there the parked 737 MAX 8 jets. Obviously TUI being the main operator of the MAX jets at Bristol, that does change, of course. We've got Ryanair operating a MAX 8 occasionally, and then the Corendon Airlines using either the 737-800 or MAX 8. I believe last week actually they were using a MAX 8 aircraft, which we were expecting to catch, of course, but that was hit with about a 2-hour delay, which is obviously not that amazing for us. And so just to obviously I will cover this again later on in the stream, but just to let you know that they've installed a new fence here at Bristol. You can see, but obviously if you got something high to stand on, just like we do, you'll have no problem obviously seeing the action on the runway. But if not, you might have a bit of a struggle. So you've got double layers of fences now, which obviously is a bit inconvenient for the spotters on the ground, but you know, hopefully they'll remove the first set of fences. See that lots of ground crew vehicles just obviously sorting out that TUI 737-800. So we should depart very soon. I'd expect to see a bus on the way ahead of its departure. So you'll probably have the bus obviously taking the passengers over to the aircraft from the main terminal. But loads of ground crew movements, I'll tell you that. And you know, the Jet 2 737-800 already being worked on. That most likely will be departing right after the passengers deboarded. So go through boarding once again, catering, fuel trucks, and all of that stuff. Aside from working on the audio, of course, we were sorting out, you know, channel memberships. Obviously, we had a few people ask questions about when we could see some channel memberships being introduced into the channel. And of course, we were working on that for the last couple of weeks, and I think that's been enabled, which is fantastic news. Obviously, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so through joining us through memberships. Obviously, we've got a couple of stickers already. As we increase in memberships and the amount of people that join us, we'll be introducing more stickers, of course, but we've got a few basics. We've got Aviation EasyJet, we've got a Hello one, we've got a couple of other ones which are fantastic, and I really do think they look good. So if you'd like to support the channel, make sure to look into that, of course. But I'll give you all a weather update actually, whilst we wait for the next couple of aircrafts to begin their final approach. So we've got, let's see, oh, it actually seems as if they've changed runway. Oh, that's very interesting. So yeah, it doesn't seem like 09 will be in use anymore. So runway 27 for the action at Bristol this afternoon. So we've got scattered clouds of 10 degrees at Bristol with winds of 8 knots blowing in the northern direction. Got a visibility of 10 kilometers plus with no seeing of clouds. So that was a bit of a basic weather update on the Bristol vicinity, of course. And Abraham Parks, good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so good afternoon, Albert Silver. Hope you're very well enjoying the stream so far. So just waiting for the action to pick up. Should be seeing an arrival aircraft in about 2 minutes' time. But yeah, happy Saturday to you, of course. So inbound, we've got first arrival of the day, of course, on the runway 27 side. So I'm not sure if you see them just yet. Might have to change the ISO a bit. But yeah, no, we're going to wait for that jet to get a bit closer, of course, before we focus on it. But I'll give some information on it, of course. So it's the EasyJet A320-200 arriving from Venice on its 1 hour and 55 minute long journey. The registration on board that aircraft is, phone just switched off, it is GEZTA, that is Golf Echo Zulu Tango Alpha. And you can see there the A320-200 in sight. So we've got a couple of other aircrafts making it, well, their approach to Bristol, of course. Nice and smooth touchdown there for the A320-200 to the Blue Islands ATR jet, also making its way to the runway. I think there's a pushback actually, which we'll definitely focus on in a minute. Smooth touchdown, smooth follow-up. You can ask for anything better, obviously. Nice clear view of the aircraft as it rotates off the runway, heading back to the gate area. So we've got the ATR 72, making its lineup on runway 27 for departure. So it's the Blue Islands ATR 72-600. So the ATR has finished its lineup, of course, and is awaiting clearance from the air traffic control tower for departing. And so I've got no info on when that jet's going to be heading off to. It doesn't seem to be picking up on flight radar, and that's something we've noticed the last couple of days, but it is moving. And I will try and get some info on that for you all. Jersey goes the ATR 72, so I managed to find some info on that jet as it lifted off. And so a little bit of a fun fact if you're unfamiliar with Bristol Airport, so we get to see Blue Islands, obviously that's the jet that's just departed, Loganair, and a couple actually Origami Airlines, or Air Services, whatever you'd like to call them, and then of course Aer Lingus operating the ATR 72 jets. And so once we wait for the next couple of bits of actions, we've got an aircraft beginning its approach actually. Yes, we've got an A320 beginning its final approach into Bristol Airport, and then we've got this jet, which I believe is the A319. But I do think that it will be holding short on the runway. We've got a bit of a smaller jet actually, which I'm not quite sure what it's going to be doing. I think it might circle around the runway and then most likely head over for departure before the A320's landing. Going to be doing a circle before departing, so we get a nice close-up shot on that before the A320's arrival. But very good afternoon to everyone that's just joining us now. And so the small jet moving now, obviously not picking up on flight radar. That is usual at Bristol Airport with the smaller prop-engined aircraft. do a bit of movements to my tripod actually. There you are. See, I was setting up for some Runway 09 action, so the tripod was set up a bit differently. But, that's all been sorted now. The A319 then, holding short for the arriving A320, which is nearing the touchdown period. You've got some info on that. So the E-Jet A320-200 arriving from Rome on its 2-hour and 16-minute long journey. The registration on board this aircraft is GEZOM, that is Golf Echo Zulu Oscar. And then yeah, so just gonna rate the landing, of course. Obviously the winds are pretty calm here, so Runway 27, so that is, let's see, so it's the EasyJet A319 heading to Malaga, registered GEZGR, that is Golf Echo Zulu, Golf and Romeo, and then right behind that we should be seeing another arrival, and that, once again, no surprise, will be another EasyJet aircraft, and also another A319. So that's definitely something to look out for, obviously. And so the clearance has been granted, and now the A319 is moving. This is definitely one of the hardest airports to be filming, and managing the tripod. Obviously you've got to turn about 180 degrees each time when there is a departure. And then the arrivals are not so bad, of course, but it depends on what runway they're using. Obviously if it is 09 left, it's pretty much the exact same bit. The sun seems to be coming out quite a bit now. So that was the arriving A320. So we've got obviously ground crew circulating the runway. Jet there boarding now. Yeah, the A320 there. They're plane man saying that we should be seeing some non-stop departures, and yeah, that was what we were planning for, of course. I mean, if I sort of zoom out a bit, you can see just how many aircraft are on just this side of the airport. Obviously, it is a bit busy on the other side as well. So these should all be set up for departure before any new aircraft. We've got another aircraft quite a distance away, about 8 minutes out this time, the Ryanair 737-800, but we're not going to give you any information on that just yet, as we've got an EasyJet A319 from Nice, which is currently inbound. And so you can see there, so Nice, the 1 hour and 42 minute long journey being done by the A319, which is registered GEZDV, that is Golf Echo Zulu Delta Victor. Flirting quite a bit before touching down on the markers on the runway. He had his nose raised up all the way and started lifting up a bit. So he's managed that well, of course, with a smooth touchdown. They're using the whole runway, so vacating off the runway at the end of the 2-second side. So of course this jet does not need that much runway, it's just the matter that there isn't additional taxiway at 70% through the runway, of course. So yeah, the runway capable of holding an A330 and 77. In demand can see there the A320 currently on boarding now, so that should be heading out in about say 20 minutes time, 15 minutes time. So we'll watch that pushback. But, as of now, we'll watch the taxi, of course, on board the A319 that has just arrived from Nice. But yeah, I think we should be seeing a KLM jet here. Obviously, loads of Ryanair Jet 2s and EasyJet aircraft. We might see the TUI 737s depart. That all depends on the delays, of course. Obviously, they're not the best performers when it comes to delays, but obviously there's nothing that can be done about it. So we'll focus on the A320, of course, as it boards passengers. But yeah, good afternoon, Doris Petas. Hope you're doing very well. Thanks for joining us once again. It's really great to have you here at Bristol with us, and we hope you are enjoying the stream so far. So I'll give you some insight as to when you next arrive on the jet. It'll be nice and close, obviously. So we've got one inbound 2 minutes out. It's the Ryanair 737-800, which will be arriving from Budapest, and it's a 2-hour and 20-minute long journey. So just waiting for that to appear behind the clouds surrounding Bristol Airport this afternoon. Total journey time of 2 hours and 21 minutes is flight from Budapest. The registration on board that Ryanair 737 that we will see very soon is EIDCJ, that is Echo India Delta Charlie Juliet. And we've got another arrival actually after the Ryanair, so 2 minutes after that, got an EasyJet A319. But I can see the lights of the 737 appearing from the clouds, but I'm not going to watch that just yet, because I feel as if that will be a bit hard to see, especially for the camera. And yeah, lots of people boarding the A320. I mean, you can see just how many. I mean, that line has been going for quite long, and it still is going. So it does seem to be a full flight. So I do wonder where that's going to be headed off to. And yeah, so the Ryanair 737-800 in sight now, and then from Budapest there, just in case you missed that that last bit of info. And so Tim, good afternoon, hope you're doing very well. Thanks for joining once again. How have you been? It's been a long time, of course. Obviously we were streaming quite often during the 2-week holiday, but now back to our usual. But we are looking to do more streams more often, obviously, but so just need to sort out the schedule, of course. But a bit of a hard track on the Ryanair 737-800, but that was expected, of course. It is Ryanair, of course, but that we saw actually. day. Loads of people have been busy, obviously, at work and obviously doing other stuff. But yeah, it is good to have you, Tim, of course, and just like to thank you for joining. But if only we could always stream every day. If only a schedule didn't exist. We could be here at Bristol every day, perhaps London Heathrow, or you know, any of those bigger airports. I mean, we're hoping to go to Heathrow this week, but obviously they were using a slightly different runway as to what we would prefer. So I think we'll go next week instead. Obviously Luton was great, so we are definitely hoping to go back there at some point. And we'd like to try Gatwick, of course, but still looking for some great spotting locations. Obviously we don't want to bore you with some locations that are really far off the runway. But back to Bristol talk, of course. We've got the EasyJet A319 from Toulouse on its 1 hour and 25 minute long journey. So the registration on board this aircraft is OELKL, that is Oscar Echo Lima Kilo Lima. So you can see what I was talking about when you reversed last time. Pop out from the A319. So the 777-800, they sort of move behind and extend like that. Nice and different, of course, but obviously Airbus don't reverse thrust. So we've got a helicopter actually. Focus on that. It seems to be quite far away. Just watch the A319's taxi, of course. So Phil, good afternoon, thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well in Warwick. I don't know how I feel about the weather in Bristol, I must say. I mean, it's sunny and cold and it's a bit of everything, of course. But Doros saying that was a happy landing from the Ryanair, I believe that was. And yeah, it definitely was. But Tim joining us in the premium economy. Welcome to the membership scheme, Tim. Thanks for joining, of course, and that really does support the channel. Obviously, that helps us out a lot. So yeah, make sure to test those stickers out for us. We've got an EasyJet one. We're looking to do a Ryanair one, but that's obviously we require a couple more members to do that. See there, just gonna watch that TUI Fly 737-800 livery there. And yeah, we're working on the stickers and all of the emotes and all of that stuff for quite a while now, so you know, we hope you enjoy them, of course, Tim. Obviously we will probably do another level to the membership scheme, but I think as of now currently I think we're happy as it is. But yeah, as I said earlier, we've got loads of emotes and emojis ready to be released. But we've got A319 that's just parked up in these stands. There's plenty of aircraft in Bristol, I'll tell you that. I mean, look at that. The camera can barely fit them all in, but we'll watch the Ryanair 737-800 as it deboards. In fact, we're finished. I think we barely missed that. But it seems like we will be getting this A320 moving very soon. You can see the ground crew vehicles moving away from the aircraft, of course. So that should begin its pushback, and then we'll see it depart. But as of now, we've got an aircraft on the taxiway now. That's the A320, I believe. So I'll try and get some info on that actually. So a couple of the aircraft actually coming up at Bristol. We've got the arriving one. And one that's arrived. We've got one that's got no location. Where it will be heading from, but it will be departing. I can tell you that much. But this one, which we're just watching now, is the A320neo. Operated by EasyJet, of course. You could tell by the orange, and that will be heading to Glasgow. So registered GUZHN, that is Golf Uniform Zulu Hotel November. That is if you're wondering and would like to check it out on Google, Flight Radar, or any of that stuff. So I can't tell if the pushback truck is still connected to the A320neo. I mean, usually they are disconnected quite early, but sometimes they do keep them out till it gets really close to the runway. But yeah, it does seem that the pushback truck has been detached from the nose gear with the A320neo, and so we should be seeing it line up. So you can see there in the frame the new gates that have been actually installed at Bristol. Not quite sure why. I think the old ones were working just as fine, but see, most likely for security reasons, I believe. So the EasyJet A320-200, another aircraft that's actually pinging up on Flight Radar. So as I said earlier, no info as to when that's going or where it's headed to. But it is pinging up 0 knots of ground speed, and I can't quite tell which aircraft it could be. But either way, the A320neo beginning its lineup on runway 274 departure. So the A320 moving now. So nice and smooth departure there from the Airbus A320neo. So we should be seeing more. I mean, we've got this A320-200, which I believe was the one that wasn't actually showing the location as to where we headed to. That's that aircraft. Obviously, you can see there the pushback track being disengaged on this A320-200, which will be pushing back soon. It is pinging up now as well. See they're rotating all different angles, of course, to avoid the 77 Max 8, which you can see here, right next to the aircraft. So whilst we wait for that to get a bit closer, we'll focus on this A320, which you can see there is now moving, no pushback truck attached. Let's see if that's got any influence to where that will be heading, of course. So, I'm not sure if this is the one. So there's two pinging up. I believe this one. Yeah, I found it. So it's still no. Yeah, so it's showing that the destination is not available still. Registration on this aircraft is GZTA, that's Golf Echo Zulu Tango Alpha. And in fact, I might have read the wrong one. So there's 3 aircraft actually picking up on that flight radar now. So this one is actually EasyJet A320-200 registered GZWY, that is Golf Echo Zulu Whiskey Yankee. So this one will be heading to Heathrow. It seems like just before that I read the flight info of another aircraft which is further into the gate area behind the airport. So you've got the Jet 2 incoming, the 777-800 landing at runway 27. As Doris saying, arriving from Alicante. So the registration for the aircraft GZHS. So we've got a lineup actually, so it's the Egypt A322. So that was the A320 that's heading to Cairo, just lined up on the runway. And then now we've got two other aircraft picking up on flight radar, so now we've got a total of 3, not including the jets, just one jets on the runway. From Bristol Airport. So the Jet 2 Sentry 7800 there. So that was the arriving jet that come from Alicante. Now we've got 2 aircrafts that are taxiing and then one that's on pushback. So we've got this one here, which was the one that we watched board the passengers, of course, heading to Palma de Mallorca. Yeah, the A320-200. And then we've got jet running distance, an A320 Neo, featuring the Neo sticker. That should be heading to Sharm el Sheikh. But since that's not moving just yet, we'll focus on this A320-200. See how busy Bristol's getting. There are many things to bring up on flight radar. They are approved to begin pushback. So I have to adjust the tripod actually. Keeps lowering down, there it is. Sorry about that, just making sure everything is intact, of course. So the A320 Neo still not moving, so it just halted on the tarmac, of course. But A320-200 wasting no time, of course. You'll hold short on the runway. I mean, it's not much need. No current arrival schedule just yet. And yeah, in fact, obviously, like I said earlier, not wasting any time. Not even bothering to hold short on the taxiway. I believe he's clear to line up and then the part 1 ready. So heading to Palma de Mallorca, there is the Bristol jet. The jet A320-200 registered GEZW, that is Golf Echo Zulu Whiskey Uniform. So begin this movement now to A320-200. See how far that aircraft has gone just in the space of about 30 seconds. So the A320neo is actually beginning to move now. So making its way over to runway 27 for departure. So I'm just going to find out when the next couple of arrivals and departures will be. Obviously we've got this one, we've got a couple of others that we're picking up. They're not on the radar just yet. But KLM E190, which is actually inbound. And you can see 320neo all short. Yeah, well, so it's holding short now. KLM sitting up at E190. Arrive from Amsterdam. It's a 55-minute long journey. Yeah, registration on board that aircraft is PHEZM. I am definitely missing the British Airways action at Airline and Heathrow. I think it's about time that we revisit Heathrow sometime soon. As I said earlier, most likely next week, hopefully, if they're still using the correct runway sides for us. But yeah, definitely an airport that I'd love to revisit. Luton and captured loads of Wizz Air and EasyJet aircraft. We come to Bristol, we captured loads of EasyJet, Ryanair and Jet2 aircraft. And so we'll go to Heathrow, of course, and capture a ton of British Airways A320s, A319s and perhaps even 77s and A350. Smooth there, nose all the way up as the flares before touchdown. And there is the nose gear touching down. Obviously, spoilers up, flaps all the way down, reverse thrusts active. There's a so we've got the jet. So it's the A320neo, which is just lying up on the runway now. Give it to sharp shake, and that's featuring the Neo sticker. And there it is. So as the jet lifts up, we should be seeing the Neo sticker. Fabulous to capture. Some close-up departures. I mean, look how close they are. But before we waffle about that, you can see how fast that E190 is taxiing. I mean, he slowed down quite a bit, but and so sorry about that. Was just adjusting something on the camera, of course. And so we'll get some footage of the KLM E190. As you can see, they're pulling into the gate area. So with that stunning blue livery, it's just turned in onto the gate area and is now most likely being marshalled to stop right about now. And there it is, and you can see there, I believe the baggage truck's heading over to the E190, but I could be wrong. Could be to the EasyJet A320. But we should be seeing some departures soon. We've got this Ryanair 737, which I can't see. I mean, it's boarded the passengers, or is boarding now. So we should be seeing that in the air. The Jet 277's been there for quite a while. I mean, the stair truck's still attached to the rear end of the 737-800. But as for the TUI jets, I mean, the stair trucks are attached, but no ground crew vehicles working on them. You've got this one, however, with the doors open. Obviously, both stair trucks attached, and you've got the bus there. So I'm not sure if that's going to be beginning its boarding and then heading off. So we'll keep an eye on that as we wait for the next bits of action. So we should be seeing some departures soon. But you can see the ground crew still working on the jet, of course. I mean, the bus has stopped there, so I'd assume it's been carrying passengers. Otherwise it'd be a complete waste, obviously. And so sorry Doris, wasn't I didn't quite catch that. Anyway, just looking at the chat now. Obviously my Wi-Fi here at the airport is not affecting the stream, don't worry. It's just to do with my phone is struggling quite a bit. But so Doris is saying that the favourite airline is Egan. I mean, they were new aircraft to operate at Bristol recently. Obviously, I think that's on a Monday and a Friday. And so Doris saying he's had many good opinions about Qantas, and yeah, same with me. I've heard loads of good opinions about the Qantas Airlines aircraft, but I mean, at Heathrow it doesn't seem as if they're performing very well, I must say. I think one time when we were at Heathrow at about 6 o'clock in the morning, we were expecting to see a Qantas A380, but that had been delayed for about 6 or 8 hours. I can't remember, I think it was 6. And that was a pretty hefty delay, I must say. I mean, me personally, I'd like I like Lufthansa Airlines. I mean, they're a fantastic airline. Flown with them before, and obviously they pleased me, and everything that I'd expected had been reached, obviously. And yeah, not much to complain about, obviously. But yeah, I have heard of Singapore Airlines actually being quite a good airline as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're quite expensive. I've never flown with Singapore Airlines, but I've had people tell me that they are, obviously pretty good, and they're worth trying. But so we were correct with the bus, the TUI 737 MAX 8. Is beginning its boarding. And so we might do a bit of adjustment to the mic volume. I'm aware that my voice is quite low, I think. So we might go to the original setup. Obviously, we were trying something new at Bristol this afternoon. You can see that long queue of passengers waiting to board the aircraft. Let's guess if that aircraft's been delayed. Obviously, it is TUI, and they're well known for their delays. But obviously, perhaps that may not be the case this afternoon. But we'll check it out anyway. I'll check on flight radar as well. So. And so it seems to be having a good day. The 737 MAX 8, so it's set to depart in about 20 minutes time, and it's well, it was set to depart 20 minutes time, but that's been pushed back for only a 10-minute delay, so not too bad. So the passengers should be nice and happy about that. But this MAX 8 jet should be heading to Paphos, but I'll repeat that as the time gets closer to its departure, of course. But yeah, it's surprising to see TUI perform really well in terms of delays. I mean, I think there was a recent article about the most delayed airlines, obviously Wizz being first, which we touched up about a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of streams ago you could say. And so yeah, Wizz was first with, I can't remember who was following behind them, but TUI was definitely on the list of top 10 most delayed airlines, of course. And Dora's saying that there were too many strikes lately in German airports, and yeah, I've seen that with Frankfurt, as you were saying, where 700 flights were cancelled. I've seen that about, well, I think it was a couple of months ago, when we were actually heading to Frankfurt. About 2 days before, there was a complete closure of the airport due to the strikes. And I remember one time we went to Heathrow and there was not a single German airline. We didn't see we didn't see Lufthansa, Eurowings, or any of that, or those airlines. I think they were all stuck due to the strikes. So I'm not quite sure if that's going to keep continuing. I think they're probably most likely discussing a pay rise before resuming all of those flights. But I don't know. I mean, I see there's a Lufthansa E190 that operates at Bristol occasionally. I think that that took place yesterday, but not too sure. I think it did. But so you can see there, it seems like the MAX 8 jet has finished boarding. We've got a pushback, so finally some bits of movement. Let's see if that's an A320 or an A319. I'll try and look on flight radar for you whilst we wait for it to actually begin its movement. And so it is the A320, which is just pushing back now. You can see, I think the pushback truck is about to be disengaged or removed from the nose of the aircraft. And so whilst we wait for that, we'll focus on the E190. So you can see you've got some ground crew vehicles working on the jets. You've got 2 stair trucks which are connected to the front and rear end of the jet. Then we've got the fuel truck over there. On that side, I think you've got power supply on the other side as well. And Blue, good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing very well. Thanks for joining us at Bristol this afternoon. And once again, might need to adjust my tripod. It seems like as if the camera's been moving down quite a bit. I think that's been set perfectly now. And so you've got yeah, you've got a couple of passengers there on the tarmac. So yeah, the passengers on the tarmac boarding the Jet 2 737-800, obviously featuring the silverish grey jet livery. So we've got the pushback there. That's the A319. And they're doing very well, thank you, Blue. Just waiting for the next bits of action at Bristol, and it does seem that this is the time, as a couple of aircrafts obviously finishing up with the ground crew and a couple of aircrafts boarding now. So we've got one making its way over to taxi, you've got this one pushing back, and so, you know, obviously you can see lots of action expected. And so you can see there the pushback truck being removed off of the aircraft, and then it should begin to taxi to runway 27 for departure. And we've got a arrival of a very small jet. You could just about see that in the distance. It's a propped engine plane, which is not picking up on flight radar, but oh, that was a very bumpy landing, I'll tell you that much. Very firm and probably not the smoothest. You know, actually last week, was it last week? I can't remember. It was on our last Bristol stream that we were actually watching quite a couple of touch and go aircrafts. And once again, they were obviously prop engine jets. I can hear the engine start actually of the A320. That's just been pushed back. And yeah, Bristol is a very good airport, of course, in terms of action at the airport. Obviously, it is getting busier by the day, and during summer it should be something that we'll look forward to. Obviously, Cardiff is a bit quiet, I'll tell you that much. But they are currently obviously regaining the popularity with Eastern Airways actually operating the Cardiff to Paris ORY routes. And those are being operated on behalf of Air France, in fact. And I've actually heard of rumours of Qatar wanting to operate at Cardiff Airport, so that could be something exciting. But whether that takes off, we don't know. And so off to Zakynthos goes the A320-200. Just going to apologise if I pronounced that incorrectly. So registration on board that departing aircraft is GEZTH, that is Golf Echo Zulu Tango Hotel. And so we've got an arrival inbound actually, so the Ryanair 737-800, which is arriving from Barcelona on its 1 hour and 48 minute long journey. And the registration on board this aircraft is EIDCM. And that is if you're wondering and would like to check it out on Flight Radar. And while we're in for a treat, you can see the Ryanair 737-800 with the split scimitar winglets. So you're going to get nice and close to that. And so that is one of the very few 737-800s that feature those particular winglets. So you've got TUI operating quite a lot of their 737-800s with those winglets, but this is Ryanair, of course, and it is a change for them. But they were estimating that they were actually going to be very fuel efficient, and it would lower the cost of flying with them. And so yeah, the EasyJet's taking off now. I'll get you some info on that in a bit. And so it's the EasyJet A319 registered OELKL, so that is Oscar Echo Lima Kilo Lima, and that will be heading over to Toulouse. And Samil, good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing very well. Thanks for joining us. So that was the A319's departure. Now I've got another one right there, lining up on runway 27. And so, some info on this jet. So it's the EasyJet A320-200 heading to Marseille, and that is registered GEZTA, that is Golf Echo Zulu Tango Alpha. And so just moving now is the A320. Yeah, look at that. It's a nice close departure. I mean, the views don't get better here at Bristol. I mean, this is one of, I believe, 2 or 3 views that you can get at Bristol. And obviously with the van, we're much higher up, and so we get to see some close action with no fences obstructing the way. Obviously you've got the new ones, but the runway's in sight still. And so Andy Taylor, good afternoon to you. Hope you're doing very well. So the Max 8, there you go, you've got the back doors have just closed now. I'd assume the pushback truck is going to be removed, and then that jet should be taxiing anytime soon. And yeah, so the Aer Lingus ATR 72600 there, arriving from Dublin, which is soon to touch down at runway 27. So you can see quite bumpy there from the ATR 72. It was definitely a bit of a late one. You can see the jet not usually using the whole runway for its landing, but obviously it was very late and almost missing the touchdown markers. And so EIHOH is the registration on board this ATR 72, and so that is Echo India Hotel Oscar Hotel. So after watching this Aer Lingus ATR 72's taxi, we'll focus on the Ryanair 737-800, which is actually pushing back, and then we'll see an arriving aircraft, which I'll get some info on in a second. And okay, so gonna watch the Ryanair pushback, and then the Ryanair's arrival. So the 737-800 on its pushback, and so this one will be heading to Madrid, and then we have a Ryanair 737-800 arriving from another Spanish airport, but this time it will be Alicante, so a 2-hour and 11-minute long journey, and so that is right there. If the camera would like to focus, of course. And so there is the Ryanair 737-800 arriving from Alicante, registered EIEKK, so that is Echo India Echo Kilo Kilo. don't want to sound like a walking advert or any of that stuff, but if you're enjoying the stream so far, just hope you consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and that obviously supports us and allows other people to obviously get to know the channel, as it boosts the reach that the channel gets. And so you can support us by liking and subscribing, of course, checking out our other socials, so for example our Instagram and TikTok page, or you can obviously join the premium economy group. So that is the membership scheme that is actually very new to the channel. It was only approved just before the stream, and so with that membership scheme that we have just developed, you'll get exclusive stickers. See, we're doing polls in the future for our members only, and obviously your name will stand out as it has the wonderful AH badge, and so you can support us through those means, but obviously that is optional, of course. So we've got the ATR 72 there, which is holding short of the Ryanair 737-800, which is on the taxiway. So it's just finished pushing back. And then we've actually got an arrival inbound. So you've got the action picking up, I'll tell you that much. So you've got this here, I think that's the A319, it could be an A320. Then you've got this 737-800 making its way over to the runway, then the ATR 72, then in fact the Jet2 Holidays 737-800, which is just pushed back, and then the Ryanair 737-800, which is taxiing to its gates from Alicante, of course. So obviously the busyness of the airport ramping up quite heavily now, and so that will mean two jets waiting to depart, as we've got this one here, another one on the way, but we'll skip on that and focus on the arrival, of course. So you can see the orange of the EasyJet aircraft. Camera just lost focus there, so just going to apologise for that, of course. And just trying to gain the focus back. I'll see the camera being a bit of a tough thing to manage at the moment, but that's fixed. So it's the EasyJet A320 arriving from Inverness. So a nice arrival there from the A320, which is registered GEZTK, that is Golf Echo Zulu Tango Kilo. So the TUI 737 MAX 8 is actually got its lights on and active. And yeah, so we should be seeing that 737 MAX 8 make its way over to the runway very soon, but there's at least 9 aircraft pinging up on flight radar around the Bristol area, so plenty of action. So we've got the Bristol A319 heading over to Belfast, and that is registered GEZDV, that is Golf Echo Zulu Delta Victor.
Stick on YouTube, something like this or whatever. It's bloody brilliant. Many hours of pleasure. All right.
And so a very good afternoon to everyone just joining us now. Hope you're all doing very well. And so these spells of quietness have been erased. I mean, we've got so much action. We've got this TUI 737 MAX 8 vacating off the runway quite fast. So the runway, so that was off the taxiway. Very sorry about that. So that is to make way for the arriving EasyJet aircraft that we just saw there. And so we've got 2 aircrafts making their way over to the runway, as well as one departure there. Just like to thank Andy Taylor for joining us in Premium Economy with the membership. Thank you so much for joining us, Andy, and we really do hope that you enjoy the benefits and the stickers. And so good afternoon, Daniel Watkins. Hope you're doing very well. And so the Ryanair 737-800, which is heading to Madrid, and so that's registered EIDCJ, that is Echo India Delta Charlie Juliet. And so we've actually got 2 new members this afternoon, so I'd like to thank them both. That's Andy Taylor, can't talk anymore, lost for words after seeing all of these jets. So that's Andy Taylor and XC Guard Tim. And now, because of both of you, we can introduce another new emoji. So we'll actually do a community post later on, and perhaps we'll ask you what stickers you'd like to see. I mean, you've got Ryanair ones, which we'll introduce perhaps, but let us know, of course. And so we've got, what stickers have we got? So we've got Ryanair, which will be soon. Then we've got the British Airways logo as well. We've got Emirates, Qatar. We've got many airlines, of course, and then a load of text emojis. So let us know what type of emojis you'd like to see, obviously introduced into our membership scheme. But enough chatting about the membership. We've got the Jet2 737-800 lining up onto runway 27, and so this will be heading to Antalya, and it's registered GJZHU, that is Golf Juliet Zulu Hotel Uniform. And so this is actually one of the airlines that operate the Bristol to Antalya routes, and the other airlines that operate these same routes are TUI and I believe EasyJet. In fact, there are rumours that Turkish Airlines would like to operate at Bristol Airport, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Obviously, since they'll be most likely operating the same route, so obviously competition will definitely be tough at Bristol. And yeah, so as I was saying, you've got plenty of airlines that are operating Turkish routes from Bristol Airport, so it'll be very tough for all of the aircraft, of course, to deal with the competition. But we've got the TUI MAX 8, which is heading to Paphos, and it's registered GTUMF, that is Golf Tango Uniform, and then a Foxtrot.
all right. Like I say, Sam Jason comes in about a week ago, and he's coming in on about 3:10, but I'm up here now, and I've just been talking shop in the van.
And so we've got 3 aircraft that are set to depart from Bristol Airport. We've got an EasyJet, we've got the KLM that's just pushed back, and then obviously we've got this 2E Max 8.
He got all the gear up there, and he's taking the film aircraft coming in. But no, I was just curious, sir, what this bloody fences they putting up. Yeah. Because I should be. Yeah. I mean, I should be very disappointed if they're trying to keep the public out, because, I mean, this is where we come to watch the aircraft, But at the same time I don't know if they're going to make a...
So the Max 8 beginning its movements now.
To go in to watch the aircraft, I don't know. All right. Listen, you want a big bike? I got him down there. I got him out the garage. He's out from the top of the garage now. All right. But, yeah. Well, like I said, obviously I know you're
Tim, it is. I mean, you've got airlines with a growing interest of operating at Bristol Airport, which is fantastic. Obviously, thanks to the aircraft variety that we'll get to see. But either way, we've got the KLM E190, which is beginning its taxi to runway 27, as well as the EasyJet A320 behind it. Surprisingly, I don't think we've actually seen an A321 this afternoon. So you can see there the A320 that's making its way over to the runway. And so no news on the other 737 MAX 8 2E jets that parked at Bristol this afternoon. It doesn't seem as if they're heading out anytime soon. I think I checked the schedule about 30 minutes ago, and it seems like the next 2 Max 8 will depart in about an hour's time. So the E190 heading to Amsterdam. So KLM operating one jet at Bristol daily, but that all depends on the demand, because sometimes they do operate two, and that is one in the morning and then one in the afternoon. So lining up on the runway now is the EasyJet A320-200 registered GEZOM, and it will be heading to Hurghada. And so that's cleaned up some of the traffic at Bristol. We've still got a couple of jets here. I mean, we've got the two Ryanairs, we've got two Jet 2s, we've got two TUIs, and then I think we've got two EasyJets on the other side of the airport. Just about see details of them, so we're just going to focus on the Ryanairs, of course. And you can see the last couple of passengers boarding the jet through the rear entrance of the 737-800, so that should be off very soon. The Jet 2 737-800 there, you can see the pushback truck has just been disconnected from the front of the aircraft, so I'm not sure if that's going to be heading out soon. But obviously you can see the pushback truck there. Can't quite tell if that's attached to the nose gear of the jet. But in fact, whilst we wait to see what's going to happen with that jet 2, we will focus on this one, which has just been pushed back now. So this will be heading to Tenerife, and once again another 737-800. And so the registration on board this aircraft, in case you're wondering, it's GJZHP, that is Golf Juliet Zulu Hotel Papa. So as of arrivals, we've got nothing inbound just yet. So we're just looking around on the map. I do actually, we've got a jet that's 11 minutes out, and it'll be the EasyJet A320-200. So as that gets close, I'll give you some information on that. But we'll just watch this Jet 737-800 as it will soon begin its taxi. And so we've set to see a Ryanair in about 15 minutes time, but that's actually been delayed for about another 40 minutes. And so we've got the back doors closed on the rear of that 737-800, and you can see the front door also being closed. And there it is. So the pushback track will be attached to that, and then that should be another aircraft that we'll see in a couple of minutes time. But we're just going to focus on this Jet 737-800 as it's already been pushed back and is now being moved a bit closer to the taxiway. And so that will mean we've got 3 jets to depart at Bristol soon. And so I must say, I do miss seeing some Logan Air aircraft. I mean, at Bristol, about 6 months ago when I first came here to obviously learn how to use a camera, I mean, we got to see quite a few of them. I'm not quite sure where Logan Air have gone now. I know they operate later in the evening at Bristol, but that never used to be the case. See, they use the Embraer E145 aircraft as well as the ATR 72 and 42 jets. And so the Ryanair 737-800 with the split scimitar winglets, obviously you can see there, just pushing back now. And so we've got a Jet 2 737-800 holding short of runway 27 for departure. So we watch that when it begins to line up, but as of now, no movement yet. And so you can see there the pushback truck being disengaged from both 737-800s. It seems as if this Jet 2 will begin its movement now. Yeah, and you can see there the wheels rolling. Whilst those two taxi, you've got a departing jet. And so this here, the Jet 2 737-800 heading to Tenerife. So you can see there the fantastic departure from the Jet 2 737-800. So we've got this 737-800 also operated by Jet 2, which is making its way over to the runway, and we've got the Ryanair 737 making a U-turn as he also begins its taxi to runway 27, which is the departing runway, in case you're new and has just joined us now. And so the arriving aircraft, the EasyJet A320, as Abraham has said in the live chat, thank you so much. So that's arriving from Funchal, that is Portugal. So these two 737s will be holding short. So we just watched the arriving aircraft. So there is the A320-200. Let's watch as he touches down on runway 27. And so good afternoon, Joe Dans. Hope you're doing very well, and also at Bristol taking some pictures. Hope you're enjoying the action, obviously at the airport. And so I know I'm going to pronounce this destination incorrectly, so I do apologise in advance. But it's the Jet2 737-800 heading to, I think that's Fuerteventura. And it's registered GJZBK, that is Golf Juliet Zulu Bravo Kilo. Off to its destination goes the Jet2 737-800, and then we've got the Ryanair 737-800 with the split scimitar winglets, which is actually set to depart. However, it is holding short of an arriving aircraft. So we have got, and so as I was saying, we've got an arrival inbound, the EasyJet A319 arriving from Barcelona on its 1 hour and 50-minute long journey, and this aircraft is registered OELQZ, that is Oscar Echo Lima Quebec and Zulu. And so right after this A319, the Ryanair 737 will be heading out. And so the A319, pretty much a smaller version of the A320, in case you didn't know. So practically the same aircraft, but a different fuselage, and that's actually the same with the A320 and the A321. Obviously, the A321 being a bit longer and larger in size. And so the Ryanair 737-800 with those winglets which plane man loves is lined up on the runway for departure. So this aircraft will be heading to Barcelona, which is actually where that EasyJet that we just watched has just come from. So that should be about a 2-hour long journey. And so just moving now, so we'll watch this departure. And so I'm just looking at the schedule for Bristol, and it does seem as if it's getting a bit too quiet, and so I don't want to waste your time. I think we're going to be heading out now. I mean, we captured some great action over at Bristol Airport this afternoon, and so I know it's been a bit of a short one, shorter than usual of course, but as I said, I don't want to bore you with no action at the airport. And so we're going to head out back to Cardiff, obviously, and we plan our next trip for next week. So we're looking to do Heathrow for some non-stop action. So we'll probably make it up to you then by going a bit longer than we'd usually go for. But it was great to have you all. I really do appreciate the support, and welcome to all of the new subscribers that we gained over the course of this live stream. I'd like to thank all of the new members, so that's Andy Taylor and XC Guard Tim. We really do appreciate the support, and your support will definitely be put back into the channel. Also, we got to test out the new microphone and the headset, and let's just say they didn't perform as well as we'd hoped. But we'll get back to the home, and then we'll test that out, so that we can ensure some top quality content for you all. So I think we're going to end it off there. Once again, a big thank you to everyone who'd liked and subscribed, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. See you all next week.